Yo, what's up, guys? Yeah, it's me, your boy Jackson, and yeah, we're back with another fucking banger. Yeah, I had a pretty good ass day. I took some shrooms, and yeah, I was tripping dick. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed last week's videos. Yeah, just the different styles, like the vlogs and the feel free video. Hope you guys enjoyed those. I'm back to story times this week. Whenever I get more like footage of vlogs and shit like that, I can compile it. But like, I really don't have that much footage right now on hand. I still have like 2 videos I can make with the footage I have right now, but that's like from different nights and like different occurrences and shit. Let me know though if you want me to make those into real videos, cause I can. But
I zoom nigga in the fucking Supra. I hit him with my super big chase nigga with a Ruger. Brings on me Pokemon like I'm Hooper. Need the paramedics for this trooper. Yeah, I'm ballin' on these niggas. Better keep that on the low. Yeah, I'm chillin' with these bitches and I'm chillin' with your hoe.
anyway, so let's get into today's story. This takes place back around October of last year. And this was like my final week at Ace, right? This was like the final week at my alternative school. And I was having a good ass day. I was bringing the Yart and the Nick every single day. Now, mind you, this was at the alternative school, so we were getting metal detected and wanded down every day when we walked in and everything. So if you want me to make an in-depth guide on how to get stuff past metal detectors and like how to put your shit away whenever you're about to get searched, like how to hide it properly on you so they won't find it, I can. Like once I graduate or move out of my parents' house, one of the two, put it down in the comments below or something like that. But anyway, so I was abusing that method, and I successfully snuck it in past the door and past the metal detectors and everything. And so yeah, I just go to my first period and I'm just chilling. I go smack the Yart, and mind you, I'm zeroing it completely. Like no smoke is getting out. And I was one of the only people that was bringing stuff at this point. Like it was very rare for other people to have shit. Like only like 2 other people would bring shit. So I leave the gym and I'm headed to my second period, and I go stop in the bathroom with like 2 of my other friends, and including the other guy who brings the Yart. And so we were chiefing in the bathroom, and there was a ton of smoke and everything, and I thought we were going to get caught, but we just were fanning it out and everything. And if there's too many people that walk in there, they can't really do anything. They can't search everybody that goes in there without probable cause. But and we leave that bitch, and we go to our second period, and everybody makes it there just fine. And second period was just on some bullshit. Like that class was so ass, and we just did nothing. The high was wearing off and everything. And yeah, so that class ends, and I go to my next period, which was my favorite class. And me and my homeboy, we get pulled out, and we get to go with this other teacher to a different class with like a couple other kids. And like she usually has snacks and shit. And so me and my homeboy Enzo sit down, and I pass him the Yart, and he goes to the bathroom. And mind you, this has 2 flavors, and he didn't know that. And I told him, I was like, yo, switch the flavor. He's like, what are you talking about? And I was like, yo, you can switch the flavor. So I pulled it out in class, and I like showed him how to switch the flavor. And he was like, okay. And so he goes to the bathroom, and he does it on both flavors. And he comes back geeked as fuck. And he comes back to class, and he's just fine. We're all chilling, and we get snacks and everything. And everything's normal. So, and then after that class, we had lunch. So nothing really happened up until 6th period. So I'm walking to my 6th period from my 5th, and I spot my homeboy, and I go meet up with him in the hallway. And he watches the videos, but I'm not gonna like expose him. I'm just gonna call him H. And he has commented on some of them, and we go and sit down, and the teacher tells us to go read a book for 10 minutes, and she starts sitting at her desk paying attention to her book. And everybody in the class knows me, and they know I'd be smoking. I'd be sharing the Yart with like the entire class. Everybody in that class smoked, so I'd be sharing the Yart with the whole class, and sometimes other people would bring shit. And yeah, I just pulled the Yart out, and I start ripping it, and Hunter's like watching me like, what the fuck are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? And I clicked the little switch button, and it was so loud, like the click was so loud. And I was looking up at H, and he was looking at the teacher, making sure she wasn't looking. He was going to hold up a finger if she looked, and she doesn't end up looking. So I ripped the Yart, and I'd pop a ghost, and everybody in the class is just looking at me, and that was normal. Like we would have like blinker gauntlets and everything, and just take blinkers in class, and the teachers be none the wiser. But everybody's just looking at me, and people are like, "Yo, let me rip that bitch." And I was like, "Okay, maybe when we go outside on the walk." And yeah, anyway, so after about that 10 minutes of reading passes, like I'm geeked as fuck. Like I was zeroing it and everything, and I was getting high as fuck. And we were sitting there reading, and she's like, "Did you read?" And I was like, "Yeah, I read my book." And she was like, "All right, good." And she like was trying to ask me questions about it, but I just went and sat back down. And I'm just talking to H, and he's talking. We're both talking to the girl that was next to us, but we're just shooting the shit, and we're just talking with her, and she's just telling us some bullshit story that I don't even remember. And the teacher just went back to doing what she was doing, and we just started doing our work. And I pull the Yart out, and I hand it to my homie, and he takes it, but I thought he was gonna rip it in class or go to the bathroom. And I was like, "Yo, go to the bathroom." And he was like, all right, I will in a minute. And like 5 minutes passes, and this other kid in our class asked to hit it, and I was like, yeah, you can after he goes to the bathroom. And after like 2 or 3 minutes, H was about to stand up and go to the bathroom. And as soon as he stands up, the teacher goes, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for our walk. And so we go and grab the other class that was next door to us, and we head outside, and we just were walking peacefully. And me and H and like 4 other kids, we just start walking way ahead of all the other classes. And we get around the corner, basically walking on like the sidewalk right next to the school. And there's like a breezeway and a door, and that's about it. And on that wall, there's no cameras. And so we were just walking, we were chiefing. We were passing it between everybody, and another kid had a yard on him. So I was smacking his, and I hand it back to him, and he's holding mine, and the teacher turns the corner, and we thought we were fucked because this kid was blowing yart smoke out of his mouth. And the teacher didn't say none. I don't even think she saw it. And the other teacher comes around, and we pass the other corner, and he passes my yart back to me, and I put it away. And we do another lap, and everything's fine. Like, nothing really eventful happens during the other lap. But then on the third lap, the other class goes back inside, and our class is still outside, and we just do one final lap. And we walk the opposite direction this time. And mind you, I passed the yart back to H, and he's holding it. And I was like, yo, you can just rip it when we pass the corner. He's like, all right, bet. And he puts it in his waistband. And we're walking, and then the teacher behind us caught up, and our teacher was just walking behind us trying to talk to us while me and H were just having our own conversation. And there were like 5 other kids like walking behind the teacher, and they were passing a Nick behind her. And I was like, yo, that's insane. And I was like, yo, I want to go tap that. And I try to go walk and catch up with them, but then this other weird teacher comes out, and we stop, our entire class stops, and we talk to her for a minute. And I see H adjusting the yart in his waistband, and I'm like, yo, I was like, put it in your pocket or something, like, don't put it in your waistband. He's like, nah, it's fine. And we get finished talking with that other teacher, and our teacher's like, okay guys, let's go. And she starts walking behind us again while the whole class is behind her. And me and H are just having a conversation, and she was like trying to butt in on it. And we start walking up this big ass hill. She started walking slower, and she fell back behind us. And the next thing I hear is just a clatter and a clank, and I knew exactly what it was. I knew exactly, once I heard it, I knew it was the yart falling out of H's waistband onto the ground. And as soon as he heard it, he turned around and jumped on it. Like, he actually tackled the yart, and he jumped on it, covered it up, and put it back. Like, he didn't put it, it looked like he put it in his pocket, but he put it back in his waistband. And he got back next to me, and the teacher walked up and was like, what was that? And we stopped, and she was like, what did you just put in your right pocket? And H was like, it was my AirPods. And he like pulled out his earbuds, and she like made him empty out his pockets, but he had put it in his waistband, so she didn't check that. And mind you, I'm like freaking out. I'm like, oh no. And she checks his pockets, and she's like, oh, okay, my apologies. I thought there was a vape. And I was like, nah, we don't do that. And she was like, okay, well, my apologies. I'm a teacher. I have to do that. And she was just apologizing profusely to us. And me and H were just laughing as we walked away. And we get back inside, and he's like freaking out. And he hands me the yart back. And we go to the bathroom. We're talking about it in the bathroom. And the other homie from my next period walks in. We're telling him the story because his class, he was with us from the other class whenever we were walking and doing the first few laps. But then his class went back inside, and we were telling him what happened. And he was like, no, that's crazy. And yeah, we finished ripping the yarts, and dap H up. And he was just apologizing for it. And I was like, no, it's good. At least we didn't get caught. And he was like, yeah. And I was like, yo, I'm finna bring this shit tomorrow, but I'm bringing the other boutique. He's like, all right, bet. And I dap him up, and we both walk out, and we were just laughing about how crazy it was. And then I go to my last period, and my other homie who had the yart outside, he was in that class, and he passes it to me from the lunchbox. I put mine in the lunchbox, pass it back to him, and our teacher's just not even paying attention. And I asked to go to the bathroom, and I have his yart, and it's like a weird stizzy pod system. And I was hitting that bitch, and it was fire. And he goes to the bathroom, rips mine, and the teacher let us go at the same time. And so we were just in there chilling together. And then we went back to class like fried as fuck, and the bathroom reeked. But thankfully no one went in the bathroom, and nobody snitched or anything. And yeah, the rest of the day is pretty normal. Like, nothing eventful happened after that. We just enjoyed our highs and just went on with the rest of our day. And I mean, that is about it for this video. Sorry it's not uploaded on Wednesday. I was going to try to get one out, but yeah, anyway, I'm kind of fried right now, and I still have the afterglow from the shrooms. And side note, okay, if you're still watching like late into this video, thank you for being here. But yeah, I just wanted to say some like interesting shit that happened today while I was tripping balls. And yeah, I was looking at this girl who I was like attracted to. I was looking at her face. And I'm not going to like say her name or anything, but I was like tripping dick. And her face was like moving and like kind of weird and shit. She just looked different. And like it like low-key made me like unattracted to her. Like, I was like really, really attracted to her, and she was attracted to me. Like, and we were talking for like a little while. But I mean, just I don't know what happened. Maybe like it made me like clear-headed or some shit, but I don't know. Anyway, yeah, that's about it. Crazy end of the video, I know, but I just had to get that off my chest. Yeah, anyway, see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Please, sir, call me.
Stupid bitch just dropped down straight to the yeah, oh yeah.